Sarah was a journalist, and she had always been intrigued by stories of hauntings and supernatural occurrences. So when she received an invitation from the owner of a historic hotel to spend a night in their most haunted room, she jumped at the opportunity. The hotel was located in the heart of the city, and it had a rich history of strange happenings and ghost sightings. The room in question was said to have been the site of a brutal murder, and the ghost of the victim was said to still roam the halls. As soon as Sarah arrived at the hotel, she felt a sense of unease. The building was old and musty, and there was an eerie quietness that hung in the air. She checked in at the front desk, and the clerk handed her a key to room. Sarah made her way up to the room, her heart beating faster with every step. She opened the door and was immediately struck by the oppressive atmosphere. The room was dimly lit, and the furniture looked old and worn. The bed was made up with crisp white sheets, and there was a large painting on the wall that depicted a woman with long flowing hair and an intense gaze. Despite her reservations, Sarah decided to make the most of her stay. She unpacked her things and settled in for the night, hoping to experience something that would make a great story. As the night wore on, Sarah began to feel more and more uneasy. She heard strange noises coming from outside the room, and at one point she could have sworn she saw the door handle move on its own. She tried to brush it off as her imagination, but she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Finally, she drifted off to sleep, but it was a fitful slumber. She dreamed of the woman in the painting, who seemed to be calling out to her. She woke up in a cold sweat and decided to take a walk around the hotel to clear her head. As she made her way down the hallway, she heard footsteps behind her. She turned around, but there was no one there. She quickened her pace, but the footsteps grew louder and closer. Finally, she broke into a run and made it back to her room. But when she opened the door, she was confronted by a horrifying sight. The woman from the painting was standing in front of her, her hair wild and her eyes filled with an otherworldly light. Sarah tried to scream, but no sound came out. She was frozen in fear as the woman reached out to touch her. Suddenly, the woman disappeared and the room was filled with a deafening silence. Sarah stumbled backwards, tripping over a chair and hitting her head on the floor. When she came to, she was lying in the hallway outside her room, her head throbbing with pain. She made her way down to the front desk and told the clerk what had happened. But when they went back to investigate, there was no sign of the woman or any other evidence of paranormal activity. Sarah never forgot her night in the haunted hotel room. To this day, she still wonders what really happened that night, and whether the woman in the painting was really a ghost or just a figment of her imagination.